The third and final week of the preseason is here. A fourth exhibition game is a thing of the past. It's the Bills and the Seahawks, just ahead on EA Sports.
It is a sound like no other when they raise that 12th man flag here in Seattle, and we just heard it, and that means it's time for football at Lumen Field. Tonight, the final dress rehearsal, week 3 of the preseason, and we got a good matchup on tap, as it'll be the Buffalo Bills taking on the Seattle Seahawks. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you, and now we sit, CD, at week 3 of the preseason, and this is the one that the coaches probably think is pretty valuable, right?
Certainly. This is the dress rehearsal. This is the one where your starters are going to play. You might even game plan a little bit more than you do with a normal preseason game, and then you've got to decide, do you bring them back after halftime and get them going again in the third quarter so they're ready to go when the regular season begins? I'm eager to see how these coaches will handle that.
Ready to get us started, it's Cade York. And off we go from Seattle. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
As I remember back in 2013 when he was drafted out of West Virginia, he was coming off of back-to-back 4,000-yard seasons for the Mountaineers. Hadn't seen as much game time in recent years, but at one point, a capable starter in the NFL.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. Nifty move. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it, and oftentimes knock it away.
Flush to his right. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. That is caught. He will have the first down and a bit more. And he's going to get this all the way down to the 2 before he's wrestled out. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Again, Smith. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. DK Metcalf. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Bills will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Extra point up and good by Dicker. And that makes the score 7-0. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's DK Metcalf who finishes things off with a touchdown reception. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And leading the charge, we get a look at their 6-year quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete. You know, last week I remember asking you, what would an offensive coordinator be looking for week 2 of the preseason? Now we're in week 3. Defensive coordinator-wise, what's he looking at?
For the most part in preseason,
well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And he is going to score. It's a pick 6 and a Bills touchdown. Still in the first quarter, but what a great start for them. I mean, they've controlled the airways, Charles, on both sides. They had the passing touchdown. Then they intercept the pass of the other squad and take it back for another score.
Brandon, I know we have a ton of time left, but what an early backbreaker they just delivered. They're up early, and they appear to be totally dialed in. And that offense, they're forced to run right back out, still shaking up a bit, but feeling the pressure to put something on the scoreboard. They've got to be careful here.
Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down.
Set, ready.
Back to it after the pick six, Young. And that is incomplete. The coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. After the interception, here's Smith. Escaping the pressure right. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get to field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first thanks to a flashy little spin move. 2 yards is the pickup, and it'll be a Buffalo first down. They go up the middle with Chubb. Pretty nice, aggressive run there before being brought down just inside of the 30. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up second and 5. Play action. It's Smith. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Chris Jones on the stop.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Now a play fake, and it's Smith. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
On third down, Henry. And they're going to drop him well shy of the first as he can only make it to the 11. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to fourth down. And this one is right through. And that'll make this 17-0 here in the opening quarter. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Been a nightmare of a first quarter for him. 2 interceptions, 1 return for a touchdown. As he starts again here, 1st and 10.
Down.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Going up top. Young is intercepted for the third time this game. And the Bills are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But, Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. A big play here for Buffalo. 43 yards. Charles, you talk so much about quick change plays. There's one right there. You get the turnover and boom, hit him with a big one.
And defenses plan for this all the time. They work on it in practice. But in the middle of the game,
and he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Derrick Henry. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Bills are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Sometimes you get a 1st and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on 1st down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots and going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Now after the Dicker field goal, he's back out ready to send it away. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
With these run-pass options, we often talk about a good quarterback and running back. Well, having a talented wide receiver helps also.
Yeah, even coming in 3rd in the discussion, sometimes that means he really should be 1st, because all you want to do is get the ball in their hands and let them make the big plays downfield.
That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line. Yellow, check pink.
Looking to throw, Young. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
Yeah, and you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
3 yards is the pickup, but it leaves him still needing 11 here on 3rd down. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the 1st.
Ready?
Young on 3rd down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. The Seahawks send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. He'll return it from the 6. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And the confidence from last week carrying over to this week.
2 weeks in a row. And I have to admit, last week, I thought they were going to really struggle running the football. I thought that they had a real challenge on their hands, and they more than met it. And
he's got a man, complete. Down to the 10. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Paris Campbell, 83 yards. And the Bills have opened the lead up to 30. Boy, CD, what a start for them. Still in the first quarter. They're absolutely blitzing them. All the points that they put up, I'm not sure what you say on the other sideline right now.
I think it's as simple as this, partner. The way that they're playing, there's no limits on what this lead could become.
Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. The Seahawks take back over. They've got to be absolutely reeling right now. Couldn't have expected to be down this big this early. But that's the spot they're in as they come up to try again here.
Smith, red, yellow, Lonnie, blue, check.
Now a first down throw for Young. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield.
And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Well, that is interception number 4 for him, Charles. 4 here in the first half alone, and they're already trailing by 4 possessions.
Makes me wonder, partner, do they just not have any confidence at all in the backup, or do they just have that much confidence in him? Able to throw 4 picks already, they're certainly hoping that he can turn things around and quickly.
A first down carry for Henry. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a first down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
On second down, here's Henry. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Again, it's Henry. Oh, able to avoid him. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. The Bills with a football as we start quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Hey, here we go, hey. Look, Jack's left. There we go, sir.
10th carry now for Derrick Henry. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Geno Smith taking it in from the 20. And the Bills are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
That's a really good decision right there outside of the pocket. You've got to know the right time to shift from passer to runner. He was looking and looking. Nothing there. You can almost feel the brainwaves firing as he calculates, I think I can win a race to the pylon. And he turns out to be right. Touchdown.
Extra point up and good by Dicker. And the route is on here in this first half. So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. And we will get another look at Seattle's offense. But not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Bills will take over possession here up at the 44. Well, that is now his 5th interception thrown in this game. And Charles, you've got to tip your cap to this defense. I mean, they have been so impressive reading these passes, stepping in those lanes, and picking them off.
Yeah, sometimes the best offense is an excellent defense, and they've done exactly that. What do you think, partner? A season's worth of highlights in just 4 quarters? I think that's what we're seeing from this group.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Smith's throw taken in there by Cooks. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. On the move past the 40. Down the left sideline. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Brandon Cooks, 46 yards. And the Bills' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Extra point up and good by Dicker. And the route is on here in this first half.
Seahawks nothing. Cameron Dicker to kick off.
Now after the Dicker field goal, he's back out ready to send it away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And this will be a Seahawks first down as the tackle made at the 35-yard line.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
It's Young off play action. Blitz coming, and down he goes. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Here's Young from the shotgun. That'll be caught right side. Chenault with it. It'll go as a gain of 4. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker. So the completion results there in 9 yards, and it'll be 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. Pushes him aside at the 10. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Bills will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. Now Gino on 1st down. And that's complete to Cooks. And he'll get this to the 22. So they began the play at the 11, and it's a gain of 11. 1st down.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground. Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
And he'll take this to about the 24, a gain of 3. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Smith's throw caught here by Metcalf. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Back to the ground now. It's Henry. He can't get him down. Oh, refusing to go down. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 69 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Paris Campbell ready for the regular season with his second touchdown of the game. And the Bills are pouring it on. Extra point up and good by Dicker. And the route is on here in this first half.
Seahawks nothing. Cameron Dicker to kick off.
Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. First down, Young on the slant. Here's Smith and Jigba. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, and defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
They'll try for the first with Walker. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. The Seahawks send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And it's taken in at the 9. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain of right around 35 yards on a play that started back inside their 10.
And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to do whatever they want right now. All momentum on their side, especially now running the football.
Yeah, you're talking about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to hit them next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes part.
11 more on that one and another first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Now a first down throw. It's Smith going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And this is caught. Touchdown, Bills. DK Metcalf as the first half is winding down. And the Bills will extend their lead here just before halftime.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
And oh, it's no good on the PAT, so they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is.
Cameron Dicker to kick off.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
You ain't doing nothing today.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
At the 24-yard line.
So we've reached halftime with the visiting Bills taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. Week 3 of the preseason is here. Everyone wrapping up their exhibition schedule. No games for the league on Labor Day weekend. And then it all begins. The 17-game regular season gets underway on the Thursday after Labor Day with the NFL kickoff game. In our game, expect to see the starters for at least one more drive. Something to look forward to as we get you back out to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis. Both of these coaching staffs with some big decisions to make coming up as the preseason draws to a close. This second half is going to be filled with a lot of evaluation. And to bring it your way, we go back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Our starters likely to be out there for the third quarter as we get back underway in this second half.
You ain't going nowhere.
And we will not see a return to start the half as this will be a touchback. The Seahawk offense set to go to begin this third quarter. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
At the 24-yard line.
To throw on second down is Young. Left side, he finds Smith and Jigba. He'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
First down. First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Throwing, Young. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be second down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Young now from the 50. He completes this to Walker. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. 3rd and 7 now.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And Young's throw there incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the third quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Get a look at DK Metcalf as this offense returns to the field. He's been his typical solid and reliable self, hasn't he, Charles?
When you have that go-to receiver that you can count on in the situation where you absolutely have to have him, there's nothing better for anybody who's throwing the football. But the best part is the payoff. 2 touchdowns already. That's the bottom line when you throw the ball to a guy.
Absolutely. Not over 100 yards right now, but he does have 2 touchdown catches. 121 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. And the busy night for Henry continues. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. As we surmise, Charles, most of the starting units still out there for this third quarter. First time this preseason that they played into the second half.
And that's by design. Most of the time by this point of the preseason, you want them to go into the half, cool down, and then come back out and warm up to start the third quarter like you would a regular season game. That's exactly what they wanted to get done.
A gain of 4 that time as the drive will continue.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Smith with a throw caught by Metcalf. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
And he's brought down. 12 more yards there and another first down. Well, up big, but still not hesitating to take some shots downfield, CD. I guess they really want to hammer home their dominance in this one.
Yeah, that much is apparent, partner. If they keep completing throws like that, they'll keep that gap awfully wide as they've established already.
Inside handoff, Henry. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, they have that one snipped out defensively. That's a tough one to connect on when you got multiple defenders in the area, and it winds up incomplete.
Running for it. Here's Chubb. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on fourth.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Oh, that's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack. And it's third down.
All right, let's give them a little bit of applause here. Good for them because this has been a defensive nightmare for them thus far. At least they're finally getting a couple of big plays. Won't make the scoreboard of the ride home easier, but one good moment to watch in film next week.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 15-yard line. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first. Well, those backups on the sideline, they got to be eagerly anticipating the fourth quarter upcoming. Look at the size of the lead, how they're moving the football. This defense really struggling and giving up plays like we just saw.
Yeah, Stars have certainly done all they've needed to in this one, haven't they? But my question is, will he be able to resist the urge to continue to run things up a bit and get his main guys a few bonus stats before he calls them off the field?
We sit in quarter number 3 out in Seattle. A 2nd and 10 now. Geno down to throw. This will be caught at about the 3. And the Bills are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
I'll tell you what, this offense is playing a little bit of keep away right now. They've come out here in the third quarter, possessed the ball for quite a while, and they keep on converting. Nice pitch and catch there to set up the 1st and goal.
Here's Smith. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. DK Metcalf from 3 yards out. And the Bills just continue to roll. Dicker down to tack on the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. That drive, a long one, spanning 15 plays. And it's DK Metcalf who finishes things off with a touchdown reception. So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe Walker hitting the ball is out, but it looks like one of the DBs has it, and they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
No coach or team's ever happy when someone has a turnover, but if there's ever a good time to do it,
Preseason.
Yeah, right now. You know that come regular season, he's going to be ready to go, and maybe he'll remember, yeah, I don't want to do this when it comes time for the games to count.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I think we can all understand what they're thinking right now. They take over the ball in field goal range after the turnover, so they've got that in their hip pocket. But they've got to go for the end zone and turn this into bigger points. Their thinking is a touchdown is really what they should get from starting here. Getting 3 points at the end of this drive, that would feel disappointing.
Now a 3rd and 6. They'll run it again with Henry. And they'll get this down to the 10. 154 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
They'll try and run for it with Henry. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yes, now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
Henry up the middle. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the second score there. Now Smith on 3rd and goal. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Whether that's a little grabbing, a little hand fighting, by any means necessary on 3rd down, he was able to get the job done in the secondary and swat that one away.
And his kick is good. And the Bills will add on to their lead. So they got the turnover started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. The goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more preseason football on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Blitz forthcoming as he'll look to throw. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now here's a throw that's complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the 4th quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a concert, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one. But they certainly don't want to end it on one. They want to put together a few more throws like that and at least have a final drive to give them a little bit more hope as they move forward.
They'll look to throw again. And he comes back with one complete. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
And he is going to have a Seahawks first down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2.
First and 10 at the 29-yard line.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
At the 36-yard line.
They'll set up a throw. He finds his man. Complete. That's Curtis.
Complete to number 83. A gain of 9 brings up 3rd and 8.
In search of 8 yards on 3rd down. They've already converted 2 of these on this drive. 2 for 2.
A give up the middle to Akers.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
Cade York on now for the field goal.
This one from 46 yards out. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball. Does the big boy have the juice? And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. A great play there. 65 yards.
And the Bills take the block field goal and convert it into 6 points. Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Seahawks nothing.
Now after the Dicker field goal, he's back out ready to send it away.
I'm all over you.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. The offense on 3rd down tonight, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6.
Now an option play, and he'll keep it.
But he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. 4th down.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it, and while he didn't get a 1st down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
A big kick that time, 52 yards.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here.
CD, I mean, they have just been scoring at will. It's been score after score after score, and a lot of times we use the term blowout for a lopsided ball game. This has kind of gone past that. I think we're in historic territory right now.
You nailed it. Historic territory. Perfect phrase for what we are watching. If this were a movie, what kind of rating would we put on it? Who would you allow to watch what we're watching right now? Let's hope this one gets over fast, because this game, well decided a long time ago.
57 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
And that's a play to applaud, because these RPOs, things happen so quickly. And that ball's out of the quarterback's hands fast. He read it and reacted and was there to hit him as the ball arrived at the receiver. Big-time read, big-time play.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 39. That gain on 3rd down, good for 28. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10. at the 39-yard line. Now this one complete on the slant route. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. This gain not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. They go play action here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. So nothing doing there, and it's 2nd and goal. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up, but he certainly will have some explaining to do.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Charles, they're still airing it out at this point despite that huge lead, and some people may be saying, well, why are they throwing the football? These guys, I guess, are just padding their stats at this point.
Yeah, there are a lot of big grins, I think, from people in their families, from themselves. You're exactly right. Pad the stats when you get an opportunity. It'll certainly help you come contract time.
Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away.
The Seahawks take over.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field.
At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. Silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you or what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out. That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. He'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense.
Well, CD, you and I do a lot of games together, but it is pretty rare that we do a game of this margin. I mean, this has just been total domination from start until now, and I don't think they're going to take their foot off the gas at this point.
Do you think that on the sideline, some jokester said to one of his teammates, maybe a few of them, hey, we're up 50. Why not go for 100? You think maybe that line was uttered on the sideline? I can't believe what we're seeing here. An NFL game this lopsided.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off.
We ain't giving up nothing.
And out now come the Seahawks. I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points up.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. Yeah, they'll have great field position here as the ball will be at the 15-yard line.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the fourth quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Chubb. The broken tackle could not free him as he's brought down at the 10-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
But we all know the guy carrying the ball is going to get the credit, both in the stat line and probably in the newspaper. But guess what? Those guys creating holes, they couldn't feel better about themselves right now. Offensive line, tight end, probably even the wide receivers are involved. They're moving the ball well.
Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's 3rd down. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and the Bills will add on to their lead. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we say good night from Seattle.